Today's question comes from Julia. I met Julia at the Women in Tech SEO Festival in Philadelphia, and she does a ton of work on social media, specifically Pinterest. She wanted to know how to show the traffic from each social media platform in GA4, not just showing the domains for each social platform, but actually grouping them together. This is something that was available in Universal Analytics, as you can see here. This is on the Google Merch Shop demo account. So I suspect it might actually be available at some point in GA4 in the future, but for now, let's work on a solution. First, let's look at the problem in GA4 itself. This is the session acquisition report, which you can find under reports, then acquisition, then traffic acquisition. We'll click on the pencil icon here at the top right to edit this report. And then I'm going to add a filter to only show organic social media traffic. To do that, we're going to click the add filter option here. Then from the dimension, we're going to select the session default channel group dimension. Then from the match type, we'll pick exactly matches. And then for the value, we'll pick organic social. Then we'll click apply. Now, of course, I only see one channel, so we have to pick a different dimension. We'll scroll down, and from this drop down here, we're going to pick session source medium so we can see what we're working with. Now you can see the issue right away. We have both tco.com and twitter.com, which are both Twitter. And there's both linkedin.com, LinkedIn, and lnkd.in, which are all LinkedIn. There are also 3 Facebooks as well. Ideally, I'd want to group these together and just show them under a single heading instead of having to manually add together all the different networks. You can do this in Looker Studio by using what's called a case function, but I'd rather just see this right in GA4 and not have to go to another tool. To do this, we're going to use custom channel groupings. If you're unfamiliar with custom channel groupings, we have a resource on our website that's linked to in the description of this video that will walk you through custom channel groupings and how they work. We'll go into admin, then data settings, and then channel groups. We're going to click on create new channel group, and you're given a copy of the default channel groups to work with, which is really handy. You don't have to recreate the stuff from scratch. We're going to add in a few new channels to represent the social media networks that we're interested in. Now note the channels that you use might be different than what I'm going to show you here. When you check your own source medium acquisition data, make a note of what you have, and then you may need to change up this configuration as a result. If you want to see a full list of what Google considers to be a social channel, go to the Google support link that's in the description of this video, scroll all the way down to the bottom of this article, and then there's a link right here. If you click this, it used to be a spreadsheet, now it's a PDF. You can see a full list of what Google considers to be a social channel. For example, let's search this sheet for Pinterest and see what we've got. You can see that there's actually 31 different channels that are part of Pinterest. If I check these channels really quickly, you can see that all of them have a root of Pinterest, not always Pinterest.com. You can see here we've got .at, .ca, .ch, etc. But Pinterest is still the root, so we can use that to group all the Pinterest traffic together. Now back in GA4, let's name our new channel group so that we can find it later. I'm going to call it Organic Social Channels. Then we're going to click on Add New Channel. I know that I need to create channels for LinkedIn, Twitter/X, Facebook, and Instagram. And while this particular GA4 property I'm working with doesn't have Pinterest traffic, I'm going to add that in as well just to show you. First, we're going to name the channel. Let's start with LinkedIn. Then once we've named our channel, we're going to pick the conditions. So we click Add Condition Group, and for the condition, we're going to choose the source, and then we're going to choose the condition. Now remember for LinkedIn, we had sources of LinkedIn, LinkedIn.com, and lnkd.com. What I'll do to capture that is a really simple regex. I'll say that it partially matches regex, and then I'll type in LinkedIn, then a bar, then lnkd. That'll capture all the possibilities that we saw for LinkedIn. We'll click Apply, and then we'll click Save Channel. Next up, we'll do Twitter. We'll click Add New Channel. We're going to name this Twitter. And then similar to LinkedIn, it had t.co and Twitter. I'm sure eventually it'll have x.com. We'll add in the condition group. Again, we're looking at the source. And then for the condition, we'll have a regex. Now, in this case, you'll see that I'm choosing match as regex as opposed to partial match. And I did that because LinkedIn was both LinkedIn and LinkedIn.com, so the partially part will get both. We don't have that for Twitter. And in case another social network ends with t.co, we don't want to accidentally group that with Twitter. In this case, we're saying matches regex, t.co, and then a bar, and then Twitter. Save that channel. Next channel will be Facebook. This one is very simple, it's just source contains Facebook. Next, we'll do Instagram. Very similar and simple, source contains Instagram. And last, we'll add in Pinterest. And again, just source contains Pinterest. Now that's done. But before we move on, we need to make sure that GA4 will process our changes in the correct order. If we left all these new channels here at the bottom the way that it's set up originally, nothing would change because the organic social channel is actually all the way up here. GA4 sorts traffic in the order that these channels are presented from top to bottom. If we want to take things out of organic social and put them into a different channel, we'll have to drag these channels up so they come before organic social. To do this, scroll back up and then we're going to choose Reorder, and then we're going to use these handles to put them in the correct place. Great, now we have LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and then we have organic social. And then one last thing we want to do before we move on from the section, we're going to rename the organic social channel so it's clear this channel is anything else that wasn't captured already in our new channels. To do that, we're going to click on the organic social channel, and then we're going to rename this to be other organic social. Once we've done that, we'll click save, and now you can see it's renamed here. And we're going to scroll back up to the top and click save group to save our new channel group. Now we're going to make ourselves a custom report. We're going to go back to reports, and then acquisition, and then traffic acquisition. And then we're going to click on the pencil icon for this report to edit it. The first thing we'll do is we'll add back in that organic social filter. From the dimension, we're going to choose session default channel group. Note that we aren't using our new channels yet. You can use the standard GA4 channels for the filters, and then you can use your new channels for displaying the data. We'll select that it exactly matches, and then from the dropdown, we're going to pick organic social. Then we're going to click apply. Next, we're going to go into the dimension section of the data. And in this case, you can see we've actually got our new social channels already showing up here, which is great. If you don't, open up this drop-down and then select it from the list. And then you're going to drag this up to the top. We'll click on the three dots, and then we'll choose set as default so it shows up first in the list. Then we're going to click apply. Now, if we scroll down and check out our data, you can see that we've got our different channels showing up here. We actually have one big one showing up here. So what I'm going to do is add a secondary dimension because I want to see is there something else that we should have added. From this dropdown, we're going to choose source medium. Here's the session source medium. And then we can see that actually YouTube ended up in other organic social. And that's of course because we didn't actually add a channel for YouTube. If I wanted to break that out, I would go through exactly the same process I just did and then add YouTube as another social network. For right now, we're just going to leave this be. Let's make this report even more useful by customizing the metrics a little bit. We can click on metrics here, and I'm going to keep in sessions and session conversion rate, engaged sessions, engagement rate. I like all of these options because I already have the session conversion rate. I don't know if I need the number of conversions. I'm just going to remove that. And because this is an e-commerce site, I'm going to remove purchases as well. Then I'm going to click apply. Then for the charts, you can choose to have a scatter chart and a bar chart. You just click the eye here to show the scatter chart. I can't pick exactly which metrics are actually selected in these charts, but the order of the metrics down here gives GA4 some hints on what I want. Then I'm going to click save, and I'm going to save it as a new report. And now let's name this. We're going to name this report Organic Social Traffic. You can optionally add a description if you want, and then we're going to click save. Now I have this new report, but I actually want to add it to my report navigation. So I'm going to click back to get out of here, and then I'm going to click on reports to show that navigation again, and then click on library down here. And this is how you edit the reports that show up here on the left-hand side. We're going to add this report to our acquisition section. First, we need to find the collection, which is called Lifecycle here. As you can see, it's called Lifecycle here. We're going to click the three dots and then choose Edit. And then we're going to search for our new report we just made. There's Organic Social Traffic. Then we're going to drag it in just right under Traffic Acquisition. Then we're going to click Save. And we'll save changes to current collection so it shows up in the navigation because we already have Lifecycle in the navigation. We're going to click back. And then if I open up Acquisition, there's our new report showing up in the list. And that's it. Now we have a report that not only shows us organic social media traffic, but it's grouped really nicely so we don't need to manually add together all the different domain names that the various social networks use. Do you still have more questions? Check out our other videos to get more answers and leave a comment letting us know what topics you want us to cover in future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.